Now, probably the most common question that comes to me through DMs and stuff is, how much do I need? It looks expensive. In this video today, we're going to walk you through exactly how much do you need to get up and running to get started. If you didn't check the last video to see all the stuff you get for free, make sure you do that. And we'll kind of dive in to see how much do you really need to get up and running. Like, subscribe, share, retweet. If you haven't opened your account yet, the link is in the description down below, so you can get an extra 100 million for that draft and your free rare once you've acquired 5 from the market. Let's get stuck into it. Now, when it comes to how much do you need to actually get started, the black and white answer is nothing. You can just get away with just playing, you know, the common cards, getting some free cards going along the way. And if you never want to really push up and really, you know, go and win more and do better, then you can just do that for forever in essence and just chance your luck and see if you get something for nothing. When it comes to goalkeepers, when you step into the market to go and buy one, they are expensive. Now, I've done this in average order, in order of highest average score. Okay, so my actual best goalkeeper on paper is this little 19-year-old from Japan, Kosaitani, cost me 77 quid. And then next to him is my most expensive card, and that is Jan Oblak at 310 quid. But goalkeepers are always going to cost you that little bit more. I'd say if you can pay between 70 and 90 quid for a goalkeeper, you're doing well, because some of the more expensive ones can be a bit pricier. But yeah, when you're going to go buy a goalkeeper, you will need to pay a bit more than what you're kind of, you know, you might think they should be the cheapest because it's a goalkeeper and it's not the most exciting purchase you're going to make. But there's less of them in circulation, there's less of them in squads, so as a result there could only be one goalkeeper in a team, whereas you've got 4 defenders, 3 attackers, 3 midfielders, you know, whatever it might be. So there's just less of them to go round, subsequently the price will be a bit more. When it comes to defenders, you can really pay very, very little and get a lot. Both my top average scorers I actually both got as rewards. The Chancellor Mbemba was my free card for clicking somebody's link and buying 5 rares myself. And even the boy here, Yuto Masao, was a reward as well. And again, I've got him on the market for 25 quid. And there's no one really biting at the moment, mainly because the J League's going to be wrapping up. But it just goes to show you the defenders, you know, Danilo there, 20 quid, can go very, very cheap. Ewood Pletnicek, you know, 20 quid. So you don't need to spend a lot on a defender that's capable of doing well. But again, a really big playing defender, somebody like Mickey Yamain, you know, you maybe spend a bit more on him because his scores are on average higher. But yeah, you can get defenders relatively cheap. When it comes to midfielders, you can really pay anything for a midfielder depending on who it is, what team they're in, what their scores and their form is like, what potential they have. There's a lot of factors that goes into it, into this as a whole, but in midfield it's such a packed position in this game that there is a lot of choices there. You could go and, you know, I got my Jesus Medina rare for 20 quid. You could go and pick up something like that, or you could go spend 150 quid on a Nicholas Dorsch who is, you know, got high scores all the time, win, lose or draw. Or you could even try and get a wee sneaky one, something like Madaichi Kamada here for 50 quid. Somebody who used to be on a licensed club, is now at a non-licensed club. So there's only like 12 of these in existence, so I've got one of them. So like I say, you can really spend as little or as much as you want on defenders and midfielders, especially if you're willing to put in more time to research, and we'll come where you're going to do that in a second. When it comes to strikers, again, if you're paying less money for a striker, if you're getting a cheaper striker, you're probably gambling a little bit more. Maybe their form is off, maybe they're just coming back from a big injury, maybe they're not really getting the minutes anymore. And if you're going to spend big money, like I think Memphis is one of my most expensive cards anyway, then you can go out and get a proven goal scorer, somebody who takes penalties, that kind of thing. So again, when it comes to strikers, Johnny Russell, 17 quid, bargain. You can really spend as little or as much as you want. There's plenty of value in cheaper strikers because a lot of people do gravitate towards the more expensive guys because they're after much more of a sure thing. But again, football, who can predict it? If you could predict it every week, you'd be a millionaire from betting, you know. Now, this is SoRareData.com. It's absolutely free to get access to every function and every little nook and cranny of data these guys supply. It's absolutely amazing. Before you go into the market to go and pick up some rares, you should always be checking this out to get a gauge on where the market is at in terms of valuing each individual card. Okay, now goalkeepers are expensive. If you do the draft correctly and you come out with 4 good goalkeepers, then there's no immediate rush for you to go and spend a lot of money on an All Black or a Neuer or a Keylor Navas. You can compete in Global D4. This is what Global D4 offers every game week it's on. If your players score more than 205, you get that little bit of ether. If your players score over 250, you get that much ether. If you get into 130th place or above, you're getting a free card, okay? You can 100% compete at this level with a common goalkeeper, no question about it. If you're looking to start up cheap, what I'd recommend you do to get your 5 rares to activate your free rare is I'd probably get one striker that's maybe going to cost you something like 50 to 70 quid. I'd then get a couple of defenders and a couple of midfielders, so two defenders, 2 midfielders at varying price points, at varying, you know, go and dig out, go and have fun, you know, go and find somebody that someone is totally undervalued or don't see the true potential of, and get those 5 rares as cheap as you possibly can and start making the most out of it. Because once you get the handle on it, you get a bit more confident, you then might feel a bit better about, right, okay, well, I'm now going to spend that 100 quid on a goalkeeper because I can see it's going to help me push into this division, or help me actually, rather than finish 130th and get a tier 3 rare, I can finish 50th and get a tier 2 rare next week. And that comes with time, with confidence. And I'm always going to tell you guys, there's absolutely no rush with this. Take your time, you know, make sure you're making correct decisions at correct times, and you don't need to spend that much money. Get some cheap defenders and midfielders that can score you well. Make sure you get really good common goalkeepers, and maybe pick up a cheeky striker that you fancy to turn their form around perhaps, or, you know, are just undervalued at the moment. Cool. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble. Make sure you head through the rest of the playlist. Hit the links down below. Stay out of trouble, and I will see you in the next one.